out the signals for the Baltimore Colts. Unitas gives to Amici. The Colts are the world champions. Amici scores.
It's amazing, sensational, dramatic, heart-rending, exciting, thrilling finish in the history of college football. California won the big game. 5 seconds left in the game. You believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
This is Phil Steele.
This is Mike Burnham.
This is Wes Durham.
This is Mike Ashley.
Hi, this is Chuck Foreman, number 44 of the Minnesota Vikings.
Woo, mercy, this is handsome Jimmy Vane, the Boogie Woogie Man.
This is Coach Fry with Virginia Tech Football, and you are listening to Big Dog Sports Talk.
Are you ready to rock? Are you ready to roll? Okay, let's do it.
You're in the doghouse with Rick Watson on Big Dog Sports Talk, presented by Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment. Join us in the Family Fencing Studios and chime in on the McClellan Chiropractic chat line. He's keeping cool with help from Little River Heating and Air, but this show is straight fire. And now, the big dog, Rick Watson.
Rick Watson's got the mic, he's the big dog king. Cover sports so sharp, it's a New River thing. Virginia Tech fire, rapid pride too. Every stat, every play, he's bringing it to you. He's got that voice, deep as the valley, breaking it down, no dilly, no dally. Big dog sports talk, feel the bark. He's got the scoop, faster than a sprint. Calling plays like a coach, every word's a hint. From the courts to the fields, the stories unfold. Rick's play-by-play, worth its weight in gold. With a laugh and a growl, he'll pull you in. Big Dog's podcast, let the games begin. Big Dog Sports Talk, feel the bark, feel the bite. Every day, every night, from the Hokies to the Highlanders. He's got the spark. Big Dog Sports Talk. Lighten up the dark.
self-serving. I wrote it as a moment of thanks in terms of everybody who's made the show work here on the channel. We finish up anniversary week. And it's been a whirlwind of a year. And that's basically what the article talks about, just thanking everybody. Our wonderful sponsors who, without them, I couldn't do the show. Like literally couldn't do the show because of the cost. And it's great to have supporters. And I know how much we have been able to benefit the sponsors who have been on board. It means a lot. I hear from them a lot. And it's great to have so many that are going to return for year 2. We have a new sponsor coming on. We hope to continue to build that. We're going to be adding Blacksburg football to the channel here in a couple of weeks. And we're excited about that as we continue to grow in this format. And it's all about growing and it's all about progression. The contributors who come on this show, I think, are the best you're going to find regionally anywhere. May not be national names, but you know what? That's okay, because you get realness with our regional, local folks who can tell you about the things that you care about, as opposed to somebody national who just wants to hear themselves talk, and they may have a agenda that they're trying to put forth. So I thank all those folks, because I learn every day from everybody who comes on the show. We have a lot of fun, and it wouldn't work without all the folks who take their time to join me every morning. So thanks to all of them, but mostly thanks to you, the audience. I don't know why, but for 17 years, you've been around this program from the first early days of radio to completing year 1 here on this YouTube format. And I thank you. The interaction we have, the fellowship, we call each other the BDST family, and we mean it. And it's amazing. And, you know, more and more people are discovering it's amazing. What shocks me after a year, people still don't know I'm on YouTube. They're just now finding out what it was all about. Sorry, I went into a Ben Folds song there. So hopefully more people will discover what we're doing, and we'll get more subscribers. The fact that we're already well over 1,000 blows my mind. But thanks to everybody, and mostly to you, the interaction. And we're just sitting around the water cooler, and it's a lot of fun, a lot of fun. So thank you all. I'm sorry to hear that, God. Sounds like you need somebody else to help you out. All right, on a serious note, Morris says, please say a prayer for my family, especially my mom, Emily. We lost her sibling, Mary, Wednesday, suddenly after a quick 3-week bout with cancer. Mom is the last standing of the 7 siblings. You better believe it, Morris. Thoughts and prayers up to you and your mom. Tell Emily we're thinking about her. And if anybody at all has anybody here will offer to help any way they can. We'll offer best wishes and prayers up. You are a major part of this. It's folks like Morris who I've met through the program, who just happened to stumble across the program. Now he's, basically arranging our bash. We got your back, Morris. We've had a lot of folks that here in the family have had some issues, and we've had your back. And we always will. We always will. But nonetheless, thanks to everybody. I hope you liked the article. And the more I thought about it, I didn't want it to become, I hope it doesn't come across, I didn't want it to be a look at me type of thing, because that's not who I am. I get yelled at a lot that I don't do it enough. But, I do need to be better at marketing myself, but it's great. So thank you. And just know that the article was just more of a celebration of 1 year here. But anyway, that's where we are. Had our first soccer broadcast last night on ESPN Plus. I thought it went really well for our first one. They've improved a lot. There are things that they put forth leading into a broadcast season, they have a pretty good deal worked out. The content's provided by all the schools, whether you're a high major, mid major, whatever it might be. And so ESPN Plus is a format that's filled out from us, all the schools. There's no one from ESPN involved other than they put somebody on the game and they keep an eye on like 10 at a time and 12 at a time just to make sure things are flowing. But everything's produced by our own folks, and all the schools, everything you see on ESPN Plus for the most part is produced by the schools. And last night we had a new player come in, a transfer from New Hampshire, Brooke Pearson, in her first game. She had a hat trick. It was awesome. It was awesome. Okay, good. Yeah, it's stupid people this morning. The bots that are coming on trying to put inappropriate things on here, I don't understand. What's the point of your existence? Like, yeah, I mean, you know how easy it is. All I have to do is just ban you forever, which you've all been banned. You're not bothering anybody because your message is not going to get through. There's some stupid ass people that you have to deal with. Oh, by the way, this is funny. This isn't stupid. This is funny. So this picture that I think it was an NRV Thunder. I think it was NRV Thunder. So this, let me take. All right. I got a couple messages. Apparently there were some screenshots taken of this. And some other channels were like, wow, Elma High doing a podcast on something called BDST, and then they were talking about the professional door logo right there. I thought that was pretty funny. Maybe it's just me, but I thought that was pretty funny. And oh man, where did Selma go? Get her back in here. What are we doing? There we go. But in any event, that made me laugh. That made me laugh. What's going on, Prometheus? Yeah, we're going to think about you, Morris. Let us know if any of us can help. We had preseason football last night. I did spend the time this morning going back. What's great about YouTube, you can find the highlights. You just find the game highlights, and I watched quite a bit of them. We had a tie. Colts and Patriots. No overtime in preseason. Fernando Mendoza looked good. The Raiders lost the game, but, he did a great job watching his drive. Threw a touchdown pass. Cardinals won the game, but that doesn't really matter. Joe Burrow got sacked really hard on his first series. Why is he out there? I don't know. Wins and losses doesn't necessarily matter at all, but just seeing the game is cool. Just seeing the game was cool. Steelers beat the Pack. The Bengals beat the Lions. You had the tie between the Colts and the Patriots. Cardinals beat the Raiders. Chargers beat the Texans, and the Titans won in Frisco. But again, no starters are playing for the most part. There are some here and there. And it's up to every coach and franchise how they want to handle that. Right. But I'm glad it's back. I'm glad we have it. More games tonight and throughout the weekend. It's great. It is awesome. It is awesome. Scrimmage last night. I think we had some updates. Did we not? Let's see here. I think Andy got to watch the scrimmage. Is that right? He saw some stuff last night. Yeah. Well, he saw some drills. I don't think he got to watch the scrimmage. He got to watch some drills. I don't think they let the media in for the scrimmage, but haven't heard anything at all injury-wise or anything like that. We wouldn't, but if it's too serious, we would find out pretty quickly. We would find out. Yeah, I gave Wayne a shout out because so last night Radford played Concord. They have played a whole lot. Oh yeah, Village Idiot. We've been talking about Jaden Daniels. Very disappointed. Anything you want to add, please do. Please subscribe, by the way, like and share the channel. So Wayne sent me this great factoid last night about Concord, and that's where the coal miner's daughter went to school in Athens, West Virginia. So yeah, the game at that point was over. I mean, Radford was up a few goals, and they weren't going to lose the game. So it was one of those deals with you're just trying to get through it at that point. So that was a nice factoid. And I kept seeing Loretta Lynn. Yeah. Beautiful night, though, at Cup Stadium. Beautiful night. Concord's a D2 team, and they're going to be good in their league. When they get in their league, they're going to be good. They are. Yeah, the whole Jaden Daniels thing, it's bizarre how some people try to rise up and defend him for everything. I know it wasn't the same, but I kept thinking of Loretta Lynn. I know it's not the actual same person, but I couldn't help but I don't remember the boxer at all, coal miner's daughter, but I remember the song in Loretta Lynn in the movie. So I completely started thinking about, was it Sissy Spacek who played Loretta Lynn? Is that right, Wayne? You're good at that stuff. Wasn't that Sissy Spacek? Am I remembering that right? Who played Loretta Lynn in Coal Miner's Daughter? So that song kept going through my head as I was reading the factoid on the air last night. What's up, Tuxie? Good to see you. Oh, it's Uncle Leroy. I tell you what, drank 15 beers and tried to bust a kickflip on his skateboard, but like the true hero he is, broke his shoulder and told us it didn't hurt. He gets up, shoulder like this. I'm good. Kind of like when I went tumbling down the stairs last year. Ooh, God, that's been a year. Yeah, and you saw people trying to put it on LSU. Well, the current LSU leadership did not make any promises to Jaden Daniels. I mean, you talk about a marketing disaster. That has just backfired tremendously. Apparently his mom's behind a lot of it. He just looks like an idiot. He looks like a typical arrogant athlete. He's lost a lot of favor already. I think Washington fans have to be just – and then he's tried to backtrack on it a little bit. Then he tried to make it like, well, Joe Burrow didn't have his number, blah, 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 blah. Getting a lawyer to send a cease and desist to use your name and your likeness, really, when you've been at 3 schools? No self-awareness. And then you try to blame everybody else. LSU's done really nothing wrong through all this. Just terrible. This is all on Jaden Daniels and his camp. People are going to try to defend it and try to put it on LSU. LSU did nothing wrong. I mean, Lane Kiffin said it. He said, look, this kid wanted number 5. I didn't know anything about any guarantee. That was Brian Kelly. What do I care? He came right out and said, did you see all the LSU players with number 5 jerseys on yesterday? Did you see that? I think that was real. It may have been AI, but I saw they showed a LSU's practice and they had a bunch of number 5s on. It's not going to go well for Jaden Daniels. He just needs to shut the hell up. Apologize. Say he overreacted. Tell his mom to go away. Try to be a grown-ass man and lead a football team because your career could be on the line here in 2026. Yeah, now he's trying to say apparently they want LSU to send him the Heisman. That he doesn't want them to have it. They're not going to do that. Just ridiculousness. Entitlement of modern day athletes. We're seeing it unfold in the person of Jaden Daniels, who I guess I was completely wrong about. And I'm never shy from being wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't care. It's sports. But he was my guy coming out. over Caleb Williams, and now it looks like Caleb Williams is taking a jump. Jaden Daniels is taking a fall. Literally, he can't stay healthy, and now this. At least Caleb Williams is as quirky as he might be. At least he hasn't done anything stupid. And he actually seems like he's trying to get better and become the quintessential franchise quarterback in Chicago. And if I end up being completely wrong on those two guys, I will sack up and admit it. Unlike Jalen Daniels, who will likely never admit that he's out of line here. Sydney Sweeney. Okay, so Sydney Sweeney made the movie about Christy Martin, and Sissy Spacek was Loretta Lynn. Okay, see? See how it all comes together, Wayne? Love Sydney Sweeney. They said she did a nice job in that movie. I'm not going to see it, but they said she did a nice job. T-Bird says, I've driven to Butcher Holler. The movie didn't capture the full reality. Arizona State Village Idiot says should give future transfers the number 5 jersey. And you saw all these memes and all these jokes. Hey, let's don't do anything around the number 5, around Jaden Daniels. We don't want him to be upset. As if he just owns it. What a horrible, stupid, unnecessary, right going into camp. Look at me, attention span, backfire. That has been. Ay. Good luck, Washington. Good luck. This is what happens when you change your name from the Redskins into something stupid just to placate a group of people whose the name it didn't even represent. It was a sad, sad movie, but Coal Miner's Daughter was a classic. Which movie was sad? The boxing movie? Was that sad? Because like I said, I won't see it. I don't see a lot of movies. I've seen 2 movies in the last month, and that's probably the most I'll see. Those movies are pretty bad today. One was one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life, but I didn't pay for it. And one, now that I've gotten away from it a couple weeks, don't like it hardly at all. Spider-Man is a wonderful mess. How's that? Brand new day, I mean. It's going to cross 2 billion this weekend, by the way. Jaden was 0-2 against top 15 teams during his Heisman year. Yeah, they can try to spin this all they want. People can jump to his defense and try to say, hey, this is on LSU. They made a promise. Just stop. Not the people there now. You played there as your 3rd school, and he's trying to act like he's this legacy. Or maybe he's grasping onto that because down deep he has insecurity because he knows he's losing his grip on his professional franchise. I'm hoping these people. I'm hoping that these people. I'm hoping that he can stay healthy. If he can't stay healthy one more time, and somebody else steps up and plays, then I'm not real sure what might happen there. You wonder what the organization really feels. They're going to come to his defense. They may not say anything. That's usually the case. I mean, hell, with the Patriots and Mike Vrabel. They didn't say anything. He's there on the sideline last night as if nothing ever happened. Right? Joining us now on the program is that gentleman. He is Coach Elmo. Ferrum Panthers garb this morning. Like it, Coach. Good to see you.
Yeah. Good morning. How are we doing, Rick?
Glad we got to Friday. It was fine, It was nice being out there.
Cool.
see here. I think we got a little audio issues this morning, Coach.
You know what? Let me take my Bluetooth speaker off.
Okay.
How about now?
I think that's better. Yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
Because I could hear myself there for a second.
Okay, cool. Is that better?
Yeah. I think that's better.
Awesome. Good deal.
How are you heading into the week? At the end of the week.
Good. Been busy. I've had put back to work by University of New Mexico.
Oh, what are you doing now?
Breaking down. They open up with Central Michigan, and I'm breaking them down. It's kind of with the PFS system. You can really. I decided to do a unique way of helping these guys because they got a bunch of minions over there that know the modern football better than I do, and that's the reason why I'm talking to you, because that 11 versus 11 game, when it was 11 versus 10 guys, when the quarterback wasn't a design run, I was a really damn good football coach. But once it went to 11 on 11, so that's it. I'm out of here. But
you're done.
What's interesting, and I'm going to eventually talk to Todd when he's got time. Todd plays Navy, and the interesting, the offense, the Central Michigan offense, with the quarterback they project to start, the offensive coordinator came from Navy. And you talk about, quote, wishbone transformation, because they changed, you can't cut block anymore. So the wishbone just is trashed. I mean, no one's running the wishbone anymore because of the rules that they've had in place now. That the offense is really, the service academies are not running it per se. But watching it, I'm breaking it down, starting with the quarterback, and I'm kind of doing it like positional evaluation, strengths and weaknesses, quarterback, tailback, tight end. Then I can go to the individual lineman. Just watch the center's point of attack, or the guard's point of attack, or the guard centers or the tackles. Pass rush, good and bad. So I'll get a physical evaluation of them by position, which back in the day when you broke it down, the biggest difference in college and NFL was so player oriented and matchup orientated, not so much college football to a point. I did it a couple of times in my career where I would take the best corner I had and put him on the best wide, track the best wide out the whole game. I've only done that a couple of times. Should have done it more. If I had to do it over again, I'd have probably been more personnel orientated rather than getting the schematics to a point. So that's what I'm doing, and it's a lot of fun. It's fascinating. I just did the quarterback direct runs, what I call the 11 on 11 game, and it is it's actually fun to watch. It's 3 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards, and a cloud of dust.
Right. Well,
it's like watching Navy. It's like watching the Naval Academy. So I've just finished the quarterback runs. Now I'm going to do the tailback runs, and try to knock out a couple of days. So long, it's tedious. It's just really, really tedious, particularly in the beginning, because I'm not used to seeing these kind of offenses before. So just trying to get a feel for them.
Well, one thing about offense, it was funny, Coach. You chimed in yesterday our conversation about Virginia Tech's size and all the 300-pounders.
Oh, yeah.
And you love mass, don't you? If you're
mass kicks ass, as Coach Saban would say. Well, I hate sounding like a broken record, but I've mentioned numerous times on your show and with Greg Roberts that when I got to look at the freshman signee offensive lineman this past year, and then the portal guys that he brought in, you talk about a transformation when they come out of the tunnel they're not going to look like the Virginia Tech teams had looked like in the past 8 years. They're going to look like a Big Ten football team. They will look exactly like you think Iowa's coming out of that tunnel, or Michigan State, in terms of the offensive lines of scrimmages and the tight ends, particularly the offense. They'll win pre-game with the offense. Now, defensively, I still don't have a good feel for them defensively, and I'm not so sure they do either.
Yeah, not yet. Yeah.
Listening to the total conversation. And I listened to Franklin's press conference, and I could appreciate it. I could feel his pain where he made the comment, we have to, basically we have to learn how to practice and things of that nature. Obviously, he's, you can do all that spring game preseason work post, January through July. But man, when you get to the preseason now, because even the first spring I was here in '93, I wasn't sure what the hell we had. I really still had no idea. We still had Cornell Brown wasn't there yet, and we still had a bunch of contributing freshmen that weren't in the program yet. Now, the college football today in the spring ball, they got their team there. They got the incoming freshmen in January. They got the portal guys, so their team is there in the spring. Back in the day, we still, during the spring, we were probably about halfway in terms of who we were, about 55% about who we were, 60% maybe. There was a 40% still unknown. Where now, today, you got at least 90%. Todd Grantham's, after spring ball and all that work, he's got 90%, 95% knowledge of what his talent and team looks like. We're
right.
Back, hey, even at Wisconsin, when you go through transformations, losing 3 out of 4 defensive backs, or 2 out of the 4, let's say, or 5 out of your 6 defensive starters, man, you even after spring ball, you still may not know who you are really. And then all of a sudden, you get into the preseason, and I've always termed that this 2.5 weeks or 3 weeks is the moment of truth. This is the time for, it's not shits and giggles anymore. It's not spring practice where everyone's got smiles on their faces. Spring games where everyone just feels, you're undefeated till July. James Franklin's not lost a game yet. Now after the first couple, after the 4th, 5th day, you get to find out who your team is. You got a chance. It'll take a while. I remember one time, Coach Alvarez, he is the best. Like I said, between he and Coach Tiller, I don't know if anybody knew their teams of coaches I've been with better than them. The very first preseason, the second year I was there, we come off an 8-5 year, and we had a bunch of redshirt freshmen and some freshmen and redshirt sophomores that played that year, that won 8 games, and got our ass kicked by Georgia in the old Hall of Fame Bowl in Tampa. So the next year we're in the preseason, and at the end of the first practice, team gets called up, and they get together and they chant Big Ten champs. So we get in that team meeting that night, and the first thing, Barry's up on the podium with the team meeting. He goes, hey, let me see what you're going to be like in 2 weeks. I don't want to hear that anymore. I will tell you when I think you're worthy of as a team, as I see it, with my experiences, because we've done this before 3 or 4 years ago when they won the Big Ten and went to the Rose Bowl. So he's been at Notre Dame, and he knows what it looks like, So he told the kids, he goes, I don't want to hear it now. After 2 weeks, I'll let you know. I think you're worthy of getting together and calling yourself Big Ten champs. And guess what? After 2 weeks, he said, okay, we got a chance. And then let it go. And next thing you know, we're off to Pasadena that year.
So he was
and
right.
The next year, so it was really kind of cool. And I think one thing about Franklin, it's interesting. I've always prided myself in personnel not about right or wrong or hitting and missing, but it's just the experience that you have that you know what it's supposed to look like.
Yes.
Lawrence Taylor, one of my very first guys I, looked at her back in the day, Buddy Curry or Kenny Easley, these guys, when I'm 23, 24, 25 years old, first in the business, I sit and go, okay, this is what it's supposed to look like. Because when you watch them on I went, oh my God, these guys are really, I'm 24 years old. I'm at William and Mary. And I had we're not going to, Richmond too. And, we're not going to get these kids, but you got to evaluate them. And then built over the years. So one thing about James Franklin, he knows what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah, and that's what I like best about. He's not
as a head coach
anybody up. Yeah. He's not. He doesn't hype anybody. He's just honest about it. He's not done that one time where he's like built somebody up to be something. He is not that guy. I like that and appreciate that a lot. And it all started when we were together. Yeah, I like the way he's.
Yeah. And not just as an assistant, like Coach Pride being a D coordinator. You step into that head coach's role, you put those head coaching shoes on. I mean, it's a different world as far as D coordinator or position coach. Every D coordinator in the country thinks they could be the head coach until they are.
They are. Right.
Just ask Brett Pride, Derek Dooley. You think about those guys that have, now Barry had been an assistant for years, but he had, he played for Devaney. He was, worked with the coach at Iowa. He worked with Lou Holtz and gathered up all that, like Kirby Smart did at Georgia. The guys that transitioned from D coordinators to outstanding head football coaches. They knew what it was supposed to look like. But when you're the head coach now, his years at Vanderbilt, all those years at Penn State, he has an image that he is going to fulfill in terms of when they come out of that tunnel. You're going to see multiple tight ends, big offensive linemen, quarterbacks that can create with their feet, but really it's going to be about their arm and their mind more than anything else. They're not going to be 80% of the productivity like Kyron Jones was. Or they had been in the past, even with the coach before Pry, So that'll be interesting to see, And I tell you, he's right. I tell you, the VMI game. Don't be surprised if in the first half it's not going to be blowout in the first half. It could be, probably it should be, but don't be surprised if it's not. Now the second half comes along, and it's got nothing to do with depth. It's just they're not good enough.
No,
like I said, I think I've always told the kids this, Rick. If we went and played the Patriots for 10 plays, okay, it's not going to be 40-0. We'll win battles. We'll win some of them. They'll screw it up too.
Well, right.
If I took a Wisconsin defense, a Virginia Tech defense, or whether it's the Green Bay Packers at Wisconsin or the Washington Commanders or wherever Virginia Tech, let's say, hey, let's throw the ball off for 10 plays. Let's roll it out there. 10 plays. Now, on the 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th play, we're probably getting our ass kicked.
Yeah.
But, so it's just what happens is if that game's played for a quarter, that game's going to be, you're not going to see Virginia Tech go, every time they touch the ball, they're going to score. And every time they're on defense, it's going to be 3 and out. That's not going to happen. You have a hard time doing that against the air, let alone a football team. They've got scholarships at VMI. Those kids have scholarships. And there's probably a couple of players that Virginia Tech would like to have on that team. They'll they'll have someone in the press box doing their portal work.
Right.
That's one thing about playing those cupcakes, man. You get to see don't forget, somebody on that team may be in a Hokie uniform the next year.
Yeah, you don't know.
Live and in person.
Yeah, that's right.
Same thing with ODU. Don't forget, these are like two farm teams. It's like the New York Yankees playing the AAA Tampa farm team, Let's see what we can bring up.
I don't think anybody in Blacksburg is going to be taking ODU for granted. No fan will just look at ODU ever again. There's no way they're going to just say, okay. Then obviously the common sense would tell you that should be the case, but that's not what's happened in this series.
What's the old saying, Rick, before that game? Brent Pry, particularly, and because of the relationships with Ricky and the past.
Yeah, the whole connection. Yeah, that whole connection is going to be wild. Yeah.
What's that saying, Rick? You can't drive a 16 penny nail up someone's butt. There'll be some tight butt holes that game, buddy.
You better believe it. Yeah, there's going to be.
There will be. They got to. That's one of those games. They will find out how good a coach he is and how well he knows his team, because I'm sure with his experience, he'll do a great job handling that situation because of his experience. But if you're a first-year head football coach and you're going into the ODU game, your practices could be a little different. And if they are, then you got problems. The one thing that any football player will tell you, I don't give a damn if you're playing for the meanest SOB that ever laced up a pair of shoes, or the nicest guy in the world. Be consistent. Be who you are every day. I don't want schedule changed. I want nothing changed. That's from the player's perspective, let alone the head coach. When I wake up in the morning, I know what my day is going to look like. And it's not going to change from Sunday to Monday to, I think that's one thing. You listen to Todd, and that was a great strength of Nick. Nothing changed with Nick. When 5:30, we were off the field at LSU at 5:30, not 5:31, Rick. 5:30, practice is done. And you want to lose a football team, post your practice is going to be till 6 o'clock, and don't get off that field till 6:30.
Yeah, exactly.
Do it consistent enough. You'll lose a team.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, don't run practice over. Yep.
Yeah, you're going to practice till 6:30. Post it. You're all right. We got 3-hour practice today, boys. We got Tuesday and Thursday. Tuesday, Wednesday. We're going 3 hours. Okay. Okay. Fine. They know. They know. But all of a sudden, you got a 2-hour practice, and it becomes 2.5 or 2:45. You're going to lose a football team.
You lose them. Yep.
You'll lose them. You'll lose coaches. So
happens a lot with basketball. Yeah,
you know, Rick. I mean, all of a sudden now, I mean, and it's like, and even you get to the point today is, the old school Coach Bear. Even with Coach Oates when I played, practices are going well. Okay, we're going to start over. You're halfway through it. Next thing you know, you're back to period one again. Those days are over. They're over. You got an hour and a half. You know what? Because the game, it's only going to be 60 minutes. It ain't going to be 63 or 4 or 5. That's where you got to get through the head. If you don't get it done in 60 minutes, we lose the game. You got an hour and a half or 2-hour practice, you better get it done. You better be at your best. And I always believe the more time you have on the football field, I've always believed this, Rick, the more time you have in the football field, the less you get done.
I agree with that.
More time, less gets done.
I agree with that. Yeah. Because then you're just going through the motions, and you're right. Yeah, it's just
so that's just I'm rambling here a little bit, but I do think that Franklin does know what it's supposed to look like, and when they do come out of the tunnel offensively, they better send the offense out first, because I don't know about the defense. I have no idea.
I know. I think back to that Ricky Ronnie. We're talking about ODU, and he's built a program. I still go back. Kirk Cignetti. You remember they opened up at Indiana last year, and it was a close football game. I think it was like 27-14, something like that. Joseph didn't play well. I think he threw a couple picks, but he credited them for a while about how well prepared they were, how well coached they were, and how it helped get his team back on the right track from going to the playoff the year before. And they just kind of assumed things. And here's Old Dominion. Most of those guys at Indiana had never heard of Old Dominion. They don't know what Old Dominion is. What state are they from, Coach? What are we doing? And then all of a sudden, we're in a battle, and we better get ready here in the fourth quarter, or we may be sending Old Dominion home with a win. And I think about that, and I think it's credit to him for what he's been able to do there, building that program from scratch. And that's the kind of team Tech's going to see in week 2, regardless of how the personnel has changed. It's going to be the same thing.
Well, the first play of the game, the quarterback went, 60 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah, he did the little they were up 7-0, just like that. Yeah.
That's like when I was in East Carolina, and I'm sure in Indiana you could hear a pin drop after that play. That's whoa. I mean, the worst probably thing ODU did was score on the very first play.
I think probably in retrospect.
We went down to Florida when Charlie Pell was the head football coach in 1983, and they did have you talk about NIL? Whew, you talk about $1 million roster. They had it before it was legal. I mean, it was Wilbur Marshall, John L. Williams, Lomas Brown.
Wow.
I mean, and that's not. I mean, the litany of all stars on this football team.
No doubt.
And Ed Emery, he bent the envelope too. We just looked at their people. They got a whole lot different bank than we got because we had a bunch of good players also. We had a fullback named Ernest Biner. Remember that name, Rick?
Oh, I do. Yeah, Cleveland Browns, the fumble against the Broncos.
Yeah, and
Washington Redskin, the great Redskin. He was a great
Redskin. We put him a tailback that game because our tailback had gotten hurt. So Art Baker, the OC, put him a tailback out the game. Florida had never been scored on in the whole first quarter through the year, and this is like 7th, 8th game of the year, so we're deep into the season. We take the ball on the first drive with the ISO and the toss sweep and a couple of play actions, go right down the field and score. And in the swamp, you could hear a pin drop. It was like, holy crap. These guys are for real. And it was 16-16 going into the fourth quarter. Ended up losing 24-16 or something. I don't know. But no, ODU will be Ricky Ronnie. I've always banged his drum. I don't know the guy. I just know 3 or 4 years ago, 5 for Greg Roberts, because I had to keep up with the games on the Virginia, do the synopsis on Mondays. And you just think about the players he has lost in the portal. They're winning their, I don't know, 6 to 9 games. I don't know if he's had a losing season there. Maybe may have. I don't know. But he's done a great job there. And defensively, the one defensive end they got that Todd's got from ODU, he is something. I'll tell you what, Virginia Tech doesn't have anything look like him. This kid's 6'6", 280 pounds. DN, I think Todd's moved him inside. And I told Todd, Todd, for whatever reasons, you talk about an NFL offensive tackle. Oh my God, he's got everything that you could want to have physically as a all conference NFL prospected tackle. Not that he's defensively, he's a really good college player for his size. And that's an ODU guy.
Yeah. How do you think Joseph does at Wisconsin? How do you think he's going to transfer his talents up there?
Well, if they end up, when Luke Fickell hired Phil Longo from Carolina, that wasn't going to work. Not at Wisconsin. That's like Rich Rodriguez going to Michigan with a spread offense.
Exactly. Yeah.
Not going to work, Rick. Barry had a formula for there, and so did Paul Chris and everything. They all followed the formula, and that's how Wisconsin won. And even in this day and age, that's how Wisconsin will win. I think he'll do a great job. He's a part of the missing puzzle. I don't know who the OC is now. I don't even think Longo had been fired or left the program, but a couple of years ago. But I do think he'll do really well. I love that kid. I said Virginia Tech when it was 28-0 at the half. I had to do Greg's show. I said he just did 2 quarters and earned $1 million from somebody.
He was unbelievable. He looked like the best quarterback I'd seen from an opposing team in years in Lane State. I mean, he was dynamic.
Was that night.
Yeah.
No, that night he was. He just turned himself into a millionaire that night. It's Virginia Tech at home, and it wasn't like he's just playing well. He is the director of a team that kicked that team's ass and got the head coach fired all in one night.
Yeah, the next morning. He was out the next morning. Yep.
It's like, wow.
But now he's back.
Yeah. So it'll be, I don't know. It's funny. I wish of all the teams that I usually go around in the state, that's really one team I needed to go visit and see. I don't know the gentleman. That's the issue. If you don't know these people, I get spoiled. Like when I go to South Carolina, I get treated. I shouldn't be treated that well. No one deserves to be treated that well, let alone a former coach. And not like when I was up in Virginia, same thing. But if you don't know the people, it's hard to feel comfortable there and knowing that they trust you, and you're not going to go on Greg's show or your show and start being unprofessional about what you're seeing from that perspective. So,
well, we're getting closer, Coach, and we're going to start with your breakdowns. VMI, we'll look at it going into it. We'll get why things happen coming out of it. Can't wait. It's going to be a new feature here. I know you're doing it with Greg, and I can't wait to talk to you each and every week.
One thing I will say, the D coordinator for VMI, the name, I'm getting so bad with names right now. I'm too many people that I get to meet, but I've never been good with them in the first place. Hey, when I coach players, I just call them by their number. I did the old Buddy Ryan, hey, number 58, get over here. But the D coordinator, he came from Cornell. I know him. He and I we're doing Zoom calls, talking defensively, particularly tackling, things of that nature, while he was at Cornell. And I got a chance to watch a Cornell-Harvard game. Now, the head coach fired him, which was ridiculous. He was an interim head coach. They gave him a job, and he fired him. They should have. That's a guy that should have been fired because offensively they were horrendous. Defensively, they played pretty well. Don't be surprised if VMI defensively, they're not going to man up. They're not going to match up well. But they will play hard and they will play well. I know this coordinator well enough. He'll have them ready to play. He needs better. He needs to go into this game with better checkers.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah.
So it'll be fun. Yeah, I enjoy doing that, and it's interesting, Rick. When you look at the rushing attempts. Virginia Tech should have at least 45, 50 rushing attempts in that game. They should be able to win the third down battles on both sides of the ball, particularly with the great use of the tight ends. I call them tight ends, our first down makers. When it's 2nd and 4, just get them the ball, catch for 2 and run for the other 2. So they should be. And now the unknown is the turnovers. That is still the unknown. That's where that's where the game can keep it. All of a sudden in the third quarter, it's 10-0 or 14-7 or 14-3 late in the third quarter, because next thing you know, Tech has turned the ball over. Or there's penalties, those unknowns. You look at last year's team and you look at what 3 wins produced off last year's Virginia Tech team. Turnovers. The penalties were brutal, in terms of there's no such thing as a good time to have them. I mean, so, and then the non-use of the Benji Gosnell gets 1 reception in 3 or 4 games. Really? So all that'll change. It'll be a lot.
That will change. Well, Coach, we hope you never change, and I hope you have a great week. I hope you get out in a river somewhere or a lake somewhere, casting your.
I will be a while. I'll get back up there in the fall. The New River's my place. I'm not a sitting a boat guy. I love the New River. I just love, especially at Parrot. It's so beautiful. And even if you don't catch a fish, it's worth your time. There's certain things that your time, you want accomplishments. That's one thing. if you don't catch a damn thing, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
World just stops.
Yeah, T-Bird said you look like you have a parrot fishing tan right now. So there you go.
Oh, I did. I was between that and watching UVA scrimmage, out in that hot sun of the scrimmage, and didn't have a hat on. So,
well, Coach, have a great weekend.
Well, thank you. You too, Rick.
And we'll run you down on Monday, I guess. You be with us on Monday? You good for Monday?
I'm good. Yeah, like I say, as long as I still have a job, I may get a text from you. You're fired. You ain't gonna hurt my feelings.
No. That's not gonna happen, Coach. That's not gonna happen.
I don't know, Rick. I never say never, but I appreciate it.
All right, brother. Stay safe. Have a great weekend, man.
Cool. You too, buddy. Bye.
All right. Take care. There you go. Coach Elmo. Great stuff from him. Great stuff from him. As always. Mike Ashley, open mic. Jen, the Gamecock girl. And I haven't seen VMI, and everything's new. Their former coach is now with Franklin over here in Blacksburg. Just, I find it, maybe I'm wrong. They're running the triple option. I just don't think it's going to be much of a game. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they've been able to incorporate some things there. There'll be a lot of pride from the VMI kids. But I think the talent differential is going to be just massive. Massive. And that's where it'll come down to. Thanks to Family Fencing, sponsor of our studios, 540-200-8294. Thanks to Jason Green. Raiders fan, Fernando Mendoza looked okay last night. Looked very happy. McClellan Chiropractic, Mark Hundley, 155 Walters Drive, sponsor of our McClellan Chiropractic chat room. He's the best. Professional Door Incorporated, sponsor of our text line, 540-391-0788. Go check them out. And we appreciate Travis and all his support. Travis Williams. We're presented each and every day by Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment. Thanks to Jonathan Sweet for jumping on yesterday. Little River Heating and Air, 1095 Radford Street in Christiansburg, 540-553-2971. Thanks to Charles Lee getting it done. I didn't do it yet. The BDST fan question of the week brought to you by the attorney Ryan Pry. The question we asked was who was going to finish dead last in the ACC, and the winner is Boston College. Rallied. I think people were picking North Carolina because of the whole Belichick thing, but it actually ended up being Boston College got 23 votes. Carolina had 20, and Stanford had 12. So you picked BC to be the worst team, and why not? Coming off a 2-win season. That's who James Franklin opens up his ACC career against. They go to do Chestnut Hill after the Maryland game. National Bank member FDIC, the exclusive banking partner of BDST and this program. I've been with them for 35 years. They are awesome. Give your banking with National Bank, exclusive banking partner of the show. The Ready Set Fund with Bob Chris. That's Bob Chris, CRST11@gmail. Check out Ready Set Fund. Sundown Electric. Excellent reputation, long list of satisfied clients. The best electrical wiring service in the biz down in Elliston. 5-star ratings all around. NRV Super Bowl, 540-382-5525. Leagues are forming now, men's, women's, mixed, and for kids. And Lawson's Mobile Home Supply, 300 on Franklin Street in Christiansburg. Give James a call, 543-18011. Manufactured parts for your home. Brandon at Top Shelf Apparel. We appreciate him. And don't forget about the Chamber Golf Tournament coming up September the 21st, Montgomery County Chamber Golf event. Make sure you go and become part of that. 2 flights, morning and afternoon. Teams start at $500 for 4. Sponsorships at $100. And I think that's everybody. I think. Brandon throwing out the preseasons because his Steelers won. Did I see you actually take a snapshot of the preseason score and put that in one of your posts, Brandon? Is that how desperate Steeler fans are now? Biggest thing about preseason games is getting guys enough work in and keeping everybody healthy. Because everything is vanilla, as they say. What's up, Greg, on the professional door text line? Do you think Tech covers the 50.5 against VMI? That's a lot of points. I don't, I would think it would be one of those situations. Here's how they might not cover the 50.5. Out of respect for them being a military school, if they're up like 48-0 or 49-3 or whatever, you could see them not trying to run up the score. Right? I could see that being the case. And then maybe they don't cover it. I would hope they just wouldn't continue to pile up if they're just moving the ball at ease, which I think will happen. So right now, my inclination is they probably won't cover 50.5 just because of coach's decision, maybe. And then again, it might be a situation where it snowballs against VMI and they can't stop any of the second and third teamers that Tech puts into the game. I don't know. It's a first game for Tech too, but the talent level difference is going to be massive. Plus, you have Coach Rocco on the Tech staff now. He didn't want to stick around, kind of knew what he was going to have, I guess. Let me go grab Creed here before Mike comes on. He's sitting at the door looking at me like, come on. You don't like Rodgers and you need a young quarterback. Good luck if that guy's Drew Alar. Creed likes to torture the idiotic dog next door. He's been barking at me for 6 years. He just kind of sits there like, what are you going to do? You got a fence around you. You can't get it to me. Well, good luck if it's Will Howard or Drew Alar. Got to find your running back first. With Mike McCarthy there, I mean, sky's the limit with how good that offense can be. Good to see Brandon last night. He helped out at the Radford game. See, Brandon, you show up for one game and we get a hat trick. How about that? Congratulations to Brooke Peterson. She got the hat trick last night. Isn't that cool? You don't see that very often. The Brooke Pearson, first game. I think I just said Peterson. Brooke Pearson, first game. I'm still learning the team. From New Hampshire comes in and gets all 3 goals. A couple of them were turnovers that she converted, but she was really good last night. It was fun. That was awesome. Isn't that cool? That was cool. That was cool. See a hat trick on opening night. whole Franklin Alar quarterback development thing's ridiculous. Look at McCarron, McElroy, Jones. Saban never gets heat for his quarterbacks not panning out. Yeah. But he didn't need his quarterbacks to be championship level because he had such good players. Let's just say it the way it is. Alabama had a massive advantage that he'll never talk about when he goes on these rants about players being paid. Alabama was paying players long before. People go, no, he wasn't. There's no proof of that. Just shut up. And I think the reason Franklin's situation gets pointed out is because he could not win big games. You know, the record was so poor against the good competition that they look at that. You know, you start to peel it away to look at reasons why, and you're going to look at the quarterback position because it's the most important position on the field. It never really came into play at Alabama because they were good enough. But you're right, in terms of their NFL talent, they were good college players, but they haven't been good. There's no arguing that, Low Country. You're right. I mean, who's been Saban's best it has to be Hurts, but he transferred out, right? None of those guys. I mean, McElroy's able to hang around a little while. Jones, he's hung around, but he's not a starter. Brian says, Brian Oliver. Boy, Kyron Drones lit it up last night. 6 snaps for 3 sacks. Did he really? He took 3 sacks? Yeah, that's not going to work out. It's not going to be a successful experiment with him as a quarterback at that level. Just like it was an unsuccessful experiment in Blacksburg. I don't know if he'll ever talk about it, but the biggest reason for Brent Pry's demise was he could not evaluate the quarterback position. And he turned it over to a guy with 2 starts. And this isn't revisionist history. We questioned it then, and the results speak for themselves. And it has nothing to do with Kyron as a person. This is not attacking him personally. He just was not a good college football quarterback. Had all the physical skills you would want, athleticism. Coach almost talked about it. You're trying to fit him into a different type of offense he wasn't capable of running. And all that is correct. And now what excites you most about Tech coming in, they have a quarterback who fits the offense to a T, who's run it, is comfortable with it, and will not in any way, shape, or form be surprised by anything that he's asked to do. And that's why I think it's going to take hold fairly quickly. And that's why Coach Elmo said they should just run out with the offense. I agree with that. If the offensive line develops, I mean, that's going to be – I think the offense is going to be good from the get-go. It'll get better, but I think the running backs, I think the tight ends, they develop a little bit more depth at receiver. The Tech offense has a chance to put up a lot of points very consistently this year, at least on paper going into it. Could be wrong, but it just feels like it. It just feels like they could be really good offensively right out of the chute. And, of course, playing someone like VMI can get you off to a good start. ODU will give better resistance. We don't know yet about ODU. They open up with Norfolk State. We won't know a whole lot unless they struggle. And as Damian Sordelette pointed out on Wednesday, we'll get a chance to at least see what VMI looks like. They play, at Idaho State before they come to Blacksburg? Boy, what a contrast of road tilts. Let's go to the Potato State, and then we'll go to Blacksburg. So you get a helping of potatoes and then turkey legs. That wouldn't be a bad combo right there. Right? Bring a big old plate, Idaho mashed potatoes, and then you got your turkey leg. How quickly this became a food thing. Yeah. Yeah. It's always intrigued me how states get known for certain things. All right. Like, what is your big product? Well, we're a potato state. We got some primo potato dirt here in Idaho. Didn't you just assume that every farm just grows potatoes? Every family? What's our big production? What's Virginia's big production? What do we have? What do we produce? Poultry, cattle, and dairy. Okay, meat. All right, I'll take that. I don't know if there is a line for VMI Idaho State. I mean, it's Idaho State. It's not like it's be different if it were North Dakota State. Then I don't know much about Idaho State football. They're not the Vandals. That's Idaho. Peanuts and ham. Our big product is lovers. Well, there's no bigger lover in the world than Mike Ashley.
Yes, the economy refill size.
We were just trying to figure out what Virginia is known for. Like, what do we produce? Like, Idaho, it's potatoes. As people are saying, it's meat. Basically, it's meat. I don't know. Who knew?
History. We got a lot of history here.
Yeah,
we got a lot of good basketball players. You know,
we do.
You think about people that came out of here: Ralph Sampson, Alonzo Mourning, off the top of my head, and
Allen Iverson.
Yeah, and
Mike Ashley, Noonball legend. I mean, we got a lot.
I like the diversity though here, like the geography, the mountains, the ocean. You know, all things
That's
in between.
True. That's true.
A lot of small cities that are wonderful places. The Crooked Trail for bluegrass and country music winds through southwestern Virginia, and then you got urban DC here with its traffic and all those things, and a lot of things to see too, I think.
Hey, by the way, are you going to be around? Radford plays up there in the American University DC tournament this year. Yes, you should come up. You should come up and jump on the air with me.
I'll see if I can do that. I haven't checked dates or anything, but yeah.
It's right after Thanksgiving.
I think I'm doing my hair that weekend.
It's the weekend after Thanksgiving. You can reschedule your hair appointment.
Oh no, I do them one at a time.
It takes a little longer. Lots of appointments.
How do we get here? I don't know why I came on. You were talking about the line of VMI is playing who in football?
Idaho State. They open with Idaho State. I haven't seen a line for that one. Mm-hmm. What if there's a point spread for that one? Because the Tech point spread is 50.5, Mike. Tech is 50.5-point favorites against VMI.
Oh my gosh! So, why do you play that game?
I don't know. You should never schedule a game when you're 50 points better than the opponent. That's just
not really related to this, but this weekend something popped up from Des Portes, no less. I watched yesterday. And here's how exciting my life is, folks. I watched yesterday as a reel on my Facebook page the entire Colts-Jets Super Bowl.
Oh, very cool.
With the original play-by-play, Kurt
Galley.
they had Al DeGregatis, Kyle Roach, Jim Simpson, four man.
Jim Simpson.
But
Wow.
Jim Simpson was on the sideline, mostly talking to Bob Hope about the upcoming Bob Hope golf tournament. Bob was a little shocked by at halftime, a little shocked by the Jets outplaying the Colts. Anyway, it was so one. Actually, the commercials would have been cool to see from that game. But that's such a pivotal game in the history of this sport we so love, and it changed everything because the Colts were actually 18-point favorites, I believe, but it was as high as 27 in some circles, and they got their clocks cleaned. Although the game didn't go like I remember the NFL highlights video of that game, and the funny little thing they did think about Joe Namath being the new kid on the block, the new wizard with the football and everything, but he really didn't complete a high percentage that game, and he just the Jets possessed the ball a lot. But after the Colts had driven down the field, their first couple possessions, missed a field goal, threw an interception in the end zone, so it wasn't the kind of game I thought it was. But then the Jets could just shut them down in the second half, and Johnny Unitas came off the bench and drove them down for one score, but too little, too late. And it is. I was happy to get to see it, to have it in my memory banks, at least for a couple more days. That's the way it works. But because it wasn't like I thought it was. It wasn't just a complete dominance by the Jets. It really was a more interesting game. And you think about that game with the Colts, and then the Super Bowl win over Dallas. They must have had a combined almost 10 turnovers.
That was a terrible game. People say it's still the worst Super Bowl. Yeah.
That's neither here nor there. So teams down there working out now at Radford, right? They had some scrimmages, and the women's soccer team. Do they play? When do they play? They opened
last night. Last night we had a hat trick. Brooke Pearson immediately had a hat trick in her first game in Radford, New Hampshire transfer.
Sweet.
So we had a hat trick on opening night, the earliest ever in program history. The first game.
Earliest opening, earliest hat trick, both, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I was looking for a hat so I could do a trick, but I don't have one here on the desk. They're all around the room here. So
yeah, basketball finished up. I think they're actually going to take some time off now after they had a scrimmage yesterday. They've had, I think, 3 scrimmages the last 3 weeks, one each week. So.
Was that inter squad or?
Yeah, it was inter squad. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. Or if they sell tickets, then it's a red-white game, right?
That's right. Jalen Johnson, now a member of UNC Asheville, former Highland.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little disappointing, but there you go.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm not in basketball mode. We're in the fall. Football's about to start. I got the spring. I got the soccer and volleyball broadcast. I'm not in basketball mode at all right now.
I got you. Well, and go ahead and plug Highlander Fest.
Well, when is that? Yeah, that's true. That's coming up, isn't it?
25th, I believe. I got it right. I got that on the calendar right here.
You going to be there? You coming?
I will neither confirm nor deny. I don't know yet. I never know. I never know anymore. I never get to do what I want to do.
It's only 2 hours, so you better get here in a hurry. You can't
2 hours.
Late.
How fast do you drive? What are you in hyperspeed?
It's 5 to 9, I think. Or 5
nothing
to 7.
goes as
5 to 7.
Nothing goes as fast on 81 as you thought it once did.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. Well, I hope you're there. That'd be cool. You can stay in for a few days.
I need to come back and refresh. There's a reset with a lot of coaches and programs there. So I would like to, but I shouldn't even have mentioned that because I was kind of eyeing it, but it didn't go over so good at the dinner table last night.
Yeah, you would wear. Sure, you would. Wayne says Mike would wear a kilt at the Highlander Fest. Sure, you would. Absolutely, you would. I could see you doing that.
You got a kilt that fits me? Maybe so. Yeah, I don't know. You know why they call them that? Because you wear one of those and you're going to get kilt down in the Highlands there, so to speak. No, I got the legs for it still, but you
do. Yeah.
Other than that, no, not so good.
Probably not. Well, I think that would be the highlight of the night. It would. I hope.
Oh boy, then you better get to work on that that show. Woo. Yeah.
Well, what do you think about the whole Jane Daniels LSU thing? Well, that kind of got nuts, didn't it? The whole number 5 thing that kind of broke. Isn't that crazy? What's going on? Why would that even? I can't. Should be good for you though, because Washington now got to have to question his quarterback being a Cowboys fan. So you got to like that.
Well, I haven't heard. I just heard a blip of that on radio this morning, so I don't really know the whole story. But actually, I'm more concerned about Jaden Daniels because Jeremy Tunsil got hurt and is out for the year, the left tackle there, and that is huge in so many ways for them, I do believe. So that is really a bad start for them. And Daniels. Daniels really they're selling a lot more tickets here. People they really hope they were going to be good, and they signed Stephon Diggs, who I go back with to Maryland days. I did one of my slickest things ever. They wouldn't let me talk to him one-on-one, but they couldn't stop me from getting on the elevator with him as we were leaving the Kaiser Press Box Tower, and I got in all the good stuff away from everybody. I ended up getting a really good story out of Stephon. I think he enjoyed the moves I put on their SID to get that.
That's a veteran play right there, my friend.
Yeah. Well, we were a monthly publication in print, and I couldn't sit in a press conference and use all my questions with everybody else there. I wasn't. I learned from Roland Lazenby the art of researching a topic thoroughly, so you find some connective tissue with a subject. And I was ready. I was ready for Stephon, and so I had good stuff and got some great answers out about his growing up and family and all that. And yeah.
Well, good. There you go. Whatever it takes to get it done. Mike showing leg to get a story is what Wayne said. Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me.
All right. Now, I'm sure I've mentioned this before, but a July 4th celebration in Salem, Virginia, when I was working Parks and Rec, wearing the cutoff blue jeans every day to work as a park leader at the Salem playground, Conehurst Park, which we've chronicled here. I had the second best legs in an 8-man contest of finalists, and I lost to a good friend of mine who was a cross country runner. So I took great because I was not a cross country runner.
No, you were not. You were not.
So losing to him, there was no shame in that. So
Wayne asking Daisy Dukes, perhaps? Did you have
more junior samples? You're welcome for that visual that nobody wants.
BR 549. Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious! Good stuff.
How did we get into this stuff?
I don't know.
It's unbelievable. Every week.
That's what's so great about you. All right. So what do we have? And we haven't even gotten to open mic yet.
All right. So. Well, you brought up Jaden Daniels' number, and I'm going to talk sports numerology today, kids.
Oh, I love it.
Here's one for you. Our 29th anniversary was last weekend for Kelly and I up here.
Happy anniversary. I missed that.
Thank you.
I missed
29. They said it wouldn't last. That the sports obsessed journeyman, is still married, ranks as one of the greatest upsets in sports history. As you might imagine, my wife, Kelly, had to be a team player and often skipper our team through a barrage of buffoonery. Good thing she's one of the smartest people I know, because I'm not. I'm telling you all this because one of my superpowers in our relationship is that I always remember our anniversary. And kids, I can't stress this enough. Some things, Rick, almost by law, you have to remember regarding the person related to you by marriage, like her birthday and your anniversary, or there's going to be trouble. I have friends who've gone on double secret probation for such infractions. Next thing you know, they're on the couch and then they're on the waiver wire. But I have a secret. I can always remember the big dates and get somewhat of a pass because my wife can never remember exactly which day our anniversary is on in August. Her head is too stuffed with all the other important things that keep our team winning. How do I do it? Easy. Our anniversary is August 9th. 9, that's Sonny Jurgensen in my world. No, and that date marks the day we set our I-do's at Mountain Lake, and I moved to Greater Washington, D.C., where Sonny made his name. So that's an easy remembrance. Thanks, number 9. I'm famously not a fanatic of this particular franchise, but had a predilection for the pure pocket passer with a paunch. By the way, if anybody saw my Facebook yesterday, you know the story behind this. I was in line at the pharmacy, and they had one of those bins of balls, the colored balls, the weird clown-looking balls and everything. And I saw this baby in there, and I didn't pay much attention until I got around to the front of the thing, because I usually have to pick up a ball, see if I can palm it or anything. It doesn't matter.
Of course.
75% off.
Oh.
This thing cost me less than $5.
Okay, well, that's a no-brainer. Yeah,
it really was. So anyway, that's why I got my wife's prescription. I bought some cheese puffs, and I got a football. I always love the random things. Anyway, let's see. That's how I remember dates is sports jersey numbers. It's the only thing that saves this cluttered desktop of a brain. I've tried to spread the memory gospel to other athletics acolytes. For years, my phone number in Radford was one all sports peeps couldn't forget, because I always told folks my number is 639 Randy White.
Yeah.
That's 5454. If you didn't know that. And if you didn't, I'm not sure why you would be calling me in the first place. Now that phone numbers are stored on your cell, it's taken some pressure off. Enough, even though when I have to key in a phone number to get my discount at the grocery stores, I have to remember which phone number at which store. Not so fast, speed dial breath. I regularly shop at 3 different grocers, and unfortunately, none of them is Mickermack. Plus, we here at the home stadium have 3 phone numbers. If it's my wife's number, which is a combination of Troy Aikman, Larry Cole, Greg Ellis, and Too Tall Jones, but not in that order. You're not getting my Harris Teeter discount, Junior. One more item on sports numerology. My personal daily cognitive tests are trying to remember the jersey number of all the Highlanders I know when their birthdays pop up on Facebook. I can wish them a trademark happy birthday, as some of you know, with their old number in almost every sport to show I care. And I do remember a lot of those numbers after so many years embedded in the plaid. Not the kilt, but the plaid. I do double check to make sure now more than I used to, but usually I'm right, even right out of the chute, at least for now. Getting a little fuzzier. Too many hits to the head, I guess, which makes me think of my hero, Roger Staubach. But in this instance, more Clint Longley, who ruined 1974 Thanksgiving for a lot of you out there and from other friends of mine. I compare my constant visualization of sports and ability to use its power for good to how Cowboys offensive lineman Blaine Nye described Longley's inexplicable success that day. The triumph of the uncluttered mind.
Number 61, Blaine Nye.
Oh, baby.
See, I'm the same way. That's the one thing I've always been able to do is retain numbers.
Well, you're a Jersey guy. We all know that. Not it was like an exit so-and-so.
Not a Jersey guy. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about Ernest Biner earlier with Coach Elma. He was 44 with the Browns, but he was 21 with the Redskins. I just immediately know that. That's just one of those things.
That is true. I'm not so good with other numbers, but Sonny's one I could never forget. I always actually wanted a Sonny jersey just because I did. I liked the little paunch on a guy that threw the ball so well and just had a certain savoir-faire to his game.
Sonny Jurgensen was a great dude. I got to interview him in 2004. We were finishing up. That was the John Elway, Barry Sanders induction. I had just went up and shook Jim Brown's hand, And Sonny was sitting there. He was doing some coverage of the Hall of Fame induction. He was just sitting there at his booth, and I just went over and started talking to him. And I recorded. We were packing up the car, but I recorded an interview with him. And what a great guy he was.
I never got to meet him, but he was such a regular on Sports Talk Radio up here.
Oh,
I got here,
yeah,
and that was not having had made many social contacts. Sports Talk Radio was my conduit to the locals and what was important to them, and just hearing Sonny on there, and he was so good on the air. Sam Huff, not so much. I didn't think.
No,
Sonny
was great. But together it was great. Wasn't
right.
That dynamic?
That's what made it work. I remember Sam's commentary was like, "Oh, this is a big play." That's what you get between plays.
I know.
Sonny
Yeah.
would break it down and kind of do that Tony Romo thing where he would drinking too, but also the Tony Romo thing where he would predict what was going to happen. By the way, the one Sonny story I heard that I really enjoyed. And I've never told this, so I'm not gonna. It's not like it's a secret or anything. But he apparently was with his wife at a social function and had given a speech, and someone came up to him after him and started talking, and it was obvious they knew each other and had a great rapport. And his wife, as they were leaving, said, "Who was that? Where do you know him from?" He said, "Oh, we had a class together." She said, "Oh, he went to Duke." And he went, "Oh no, it was the driving under the influence class." He knew the guy from, and he admitted that, so that was cool. So.
That was cool.
Kids, don't drink and drive. Let me throw out another tip here, though. For you.
Exactly. He talked about his reverence. The year, one of the most fun years he had was the 1 year Vince Lombardi coached the Redskins. Brought the yellow helmet. He just kept talking to me about he said when I walked up to him, he said, "I was thinking about Coach Lombardi right now, just thinking about that 1 year and how much it meant and how that relationship, how quickly it developed and how close they really became. It was great. It was a great conversation."
Well, from what I know, and I do read and did listen to what all these guys said back, that year was very impactful and probably helped set the stage for George Allen to come in and be so successful early in his tenure here, because the players saw what a winning mentality was. Were able to gravitate to that. Now there's other legendary stories too. Those old Redskins, that the Ramskins, if you remember, they had that big trade, Maxie Vaughn and Jack Pardee, who later would go on to coach, and so many guys came in. Dyron Talbert from Roger Staubach's good friend from the Rams. Those guys had a shed at the end of the practice field that they would retire to immediately after practice, not go in and do their press stuff. They would go in there first. Maybe that's why they got such great quotes. When by the time they came out of there, they were ready to talk to people.
Yeah, let's go. Who wants to talk?
But you know what? And as much as I disliked those guys back then, when I was a young whippersnapper, because you're talking, I was probably 13, 14, just really getting into my fandom. And I didn't care about old men then. Now I really love old men.
Yeah, they think it's a whole different thing.
Big change in perception, the way these things work. It's funny like that, how life works out.
Yeah. That was a great time. And that's when the whole NFL, that's when it all started for us. A lot of people right after that. You're right. I remember Larry Brown and those Redskin teams, because we saw them every week here. You had no choice. You only had like 2 or 3 games you got to see every Sunday, and the Redskins were always one of them. So
yeah, and as much as I disliked it back then, I kind of like it now. And I every now and then stuff comes up where you have to follow a game like you did back then. It was just the score would pop up every now and then. They'd roll, run a score on the side of the screen, and you could or they'd just mention it, and that's how you knew how your team was doing.
I know. I sat there every day, every Sunday in the late 4 o'clock game. Just, where's the Broncos score? I have no way to keep up. Where's the Broncos score? Terrible. Well, good stuff, man. Good stuff as always. What else going on? What you going on this weekend? You chilling? You got
no. There's big doings here. I got a bunch of in-laws asleep upstairs, so I'm down here in the back cave because they're in town, because my nephew, who they all live in Spartanburg, South Carolina, and they're all up here because he's marrying a girl from Woodbridge who I haven't met yet. But tonight's the rehearsal dinner, so I will announce my presence with authority. And so there's a wedding tomorrow, and this is a family of there's 3 brothers, and then there's 4 more stepbrothers. So, it was a single sex Brady Bunch thing there for a while. Now they're all out and about, and obviously one of them getting married. And I'm even at my advanced age, it's hard for me to believe this knucklehead nephew is getting married. Great kid and an athlete of some renown down in Spartanburg. He's the one that got college scholarships to play football and landed at North Greenville, I think, or someplace like that. I think a girl was involved, but not this one, so we won't talk about that.
Don't better not bring that up.
Yeah, but he was such a great athlete. Then he hurt his knee, and then it didn't work out. He ended up as a walk-on at Coastal Carolina there briefly, and but anyway, he's up here now. He's going to look for a job up here in DC because there are lots of them. And I told him about, you should go to Spartanburg because you know we don't want your car up here in traffic with us. We don't need any more of that.
You got enough. You got enough of that.
Anyway, the thing is that the whole thing is over in Woodbridge, which is, I don't ever go to Woodbridge. I know it's close, but I know there's a lot of traffic between me and Woodbridge. So we'll see how all that works out. But I was telling somebody what it was like. I said, well, we've got a lot of people here. We're hosting a little bit, but it's kind of like being a World Cup soccer site this year. You know, we're not hosting the championship, but we're going to have a lot of fans at our place too. So, it's a little bit of everything. Hopefully everybody makes money and FIFA can have some get rich quick scheme that'll fall by the wayside and get all those jerks fired.
You should do the toast. They should have you do the toast at the rehearsal dinner tonight. That would be you. You should just be a wedding toaster. You should go around and just offer your toasting services.
I did toast already today. See, here's the goodness of my Pop-Tart.
I see.
I used to be good at that. I used to do a lot of that stuff, but I'm gonna let the kids do their thing. I didn't even tell them the tradition. Did you do a tradition among my friends and I was for the the rehearsal dinner, which the groom's side of the family is responsible for. We always had a theme. There was a theme. Like I remember. I think mine up at Mountain Lake was Hawaiian shirt night. All the guys who knew what was going on were in Hawaiian shirts that night. Nobody could figure it out. There was always something special. I'm trying to remember some of the others. There was silly hat night at somebody's wedding. And boy, did I excel at that. So, talk about hat trick.
You would have been great, like doing a guest spot back in the day on Magnum PI. Just show up with your Hawaiian shirt, right? And your Reds cap or whatever, and just showing up. And that would be great. You'd have been great. Just jumping in the Ferrari with Thomas Magnum as he was going to go on a.
I appreciate that. But you know who Magnum PI is in our world? That's Ron Peterson Jr.
Is it?
Yeah, well, he had that thick mustache back in the day. And he looked like Magnum. And Ron could do it. Acclaimed true crime author Ron Peterson, who by the way, nothing to do with me other than I am chairman of the committee and put together the ballot. But Ron Peterson has been named College of Humanities and Behavioral Sciences Alumni of the Year, and it's well deserved for a guy that's got like projects with HBO and Netflix and books coming out. And he's always signing something somewhere. If I just get him to sign me a check.
Yeah, come on. Share the wealth. Literally, share the wealth.
Oh, and Ron,
have a great weekend. Yeah.
He was a pitcher on the first baseball team at Radford, 1985.
There you go.
He was one of those 8 pitchers we had that, took a beating that year, as did the whole team. But look what came of that. And Ron, the seeds were planted for Ron in his crime thing because he'd heard the legend of Gina Renee Hall, who was
right.
Everybody knows that, Terry Wayne Epperly. They always have 3 names. But the legend was that she was buried in the foundation of the Dedman Center, and Ron was down there practicing baseball every day. And he started. I think that worked on his brain for like 30 years, and then he wrote a book about it that was a bestseller.
Yeah, exactly. Why did they have 3 names? You're right. I didn't think about that. They did. Yeah. Everybody had 3 names. Oh, have a great week. I hope the wedding goes well. Enjoy I hope you get good food tonight, at least. If you got to go to rehearsal dinner, at least hopefully you eat well. So
I think they're doing pizza. They kept it casual. So and I like that. That could be a theme. I don't know. But
okay.
I'm all for that. I hear the big feed is tomorrow. So
okay, good.
Yeah, today's just a light walkthrough. And then we hit the field tomorrow, ready to
the big feed.
Yeah, Michael, put on the feed bag and show them what it's all about. Anyway, right. Goober says, hey.
All right. Have a great weekend, Goober.
Y'all too.
Appreciate you.
Y'all
all right.
Too.
Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
The big feed is tomorrow. Said it once. I will always say it. You cannot have Mike Ashley as part of your morning and not smile and laugh. And that is an amazing gift. Yes. Wow. So good. So good. Junior samples. Wow. Yeah, Wayne. Yeah, the Lynn Dawson sitting at halftime in the locker room. I believe he was wearing the old road, the all-white Chiefs uniform, and he's just sitting there. We think it was a cigarette. Was it a cigarette? Or was it something else? But, it's easy to see why football is America's true passion. All my memories and all the things that I have, you remember certain sports, but football, especially the NFL during that time, is always the thing that I go back to. Always. The numbers, the uniforms, the era, and I've read books about it since then. You remember all these things. Coming home from church on a Sunday knowing that you got to see 2 football games. Redskins were always one of them. Didn't know who was going to be on the other, on the NBC affiliate. It's better than Diamond Rings. Football. Ever see the guy on YouTube? I think his name's Ryan something. He does the pitch meetings for movies. Imagine being around when someone said, all right, I'm going to do a football movie. I've got all these young stars, guys that we think are going to develop into really prominent Hollywood figures. And we're going to get, you ready for this, CB? Yeah, what do you got for me there? What do you got for me there? Goldie Hawn will be the coach. Goldie Hawn. Yeah. Football. Woody Harrelson's in that movie. Aren't there a lot of prominent young actors? Forrest Whitaker's in that movie, isn't he not? Now, here we go. $1986, really? Wesley Snipes, Woody Harrelson, Swoozie Kurtz, LL Cool J's in that. Jan Hooks. No, I guess I was wrong about. And some of these folks you see, you just don't remember. But Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson. Yeah. And there's Goldie. Football. Anybody later become a big star? Sometimes in these movies, somebody had a very minor role, ends up making it big. Yeah, not really. Not really. There you go. Nipsey Russell. Wow. Now I got to look up reviews of the Wildcats. Yeah. Not good. Reggie says our biggest crop is government employees and politicians. Yes, unfortunately, you're right, Reggie. Not good. Not good at all. Jen joins us here to finish up the week. Lawson's Mobile Home Supply, 300 North Franklin Street in Christiansburg. Give James a call, 543-18011. Manufactured parts for your home. NRV Super Bowl 3 at 255, 25 leagues are forming now, men's, women's, mixed, and for kids. Sundown Electric. If you need wiring, any kind of electrical attention, call these folks. Give Jeff Smith and his brother a call. They are always busy because they are the best. 5-star reviews. I talked to him last week. He said, Rick, we're just so nuts. And I said, you're welcome. ReadySetFund.com, BobChrist11 @gmail. Check out how a series of text messages can raise money for your organization. You need uniforms, gear, whatever it might be, sports team, church group. Professional Door Incorporated, Travis Williams up in Dublin, sponsor of our text line, 391-0788, 40 years in business. National Bank, member FDIC, the exclusive banking partner of yours truly and this program. North Carolina came in second. Our BDST fan question of the week brought to you by the attorney Ryan Price, 701 West Main Street in Radford. Trust and Estate Planning. It was Wake Forest, 23 votes. You picked them to be the worst team in the ACC. Little River Heating and Air, 1095 Radford Street in Christiansburg, 553-2971. Thanks to Charles Lee for staying with us for year 2. As will Pulaski County Sports Entertainment, the presenting sponsor of this program. Thanks to Jonathan Sweet and Tim Miller. Great to talk with Jonathan yesterday, even though he was very upset that he did not get a chance to hang out with Selma Hayek. I mean, you imagine wanting to come on this show and actually being with that instead of me. McClellan Chiropractic, 155 Walters Drive, Mark Hundley, sponsor of our chat room. And he will be in year number 2 in Family Fencing. 540-200-8294. Thanks to Jason Green. Family Fencing, as they continue to grow, we hope we're continuing to go. Thanks to Brandon at Top Shelf Apparel. And, of course, the Chamber golf events coming up September the 21st. It's the sport of kings, better than diamond rings. Sorry. Want to give congratulations, by the way, to a young man I've gotten to know very well over the last several years, Evan Hughes. And he was named as the replacement for Zach Mackey as the voice of Virginia Tech men's basketball. Long overdue. Don't get me started. But he'll do a terrific job. And he has paid his dues, and glad to see him be rewarded. He'll do a terrific job on the men's broadcast. People have asked, I don't know what they're going to do on the women's side. They have enough candidates over there, I'm sure, to fill it. They've got ready-made broadcasters thanks to Bill's SMA program. So we're going to try to see if we can get Evan on next week. And he'll also be on the football broadcasts. He'll be the sideline guy on the football broadcasts. And he'll do the pregame, I'm assuming, with Mike, the way Zach did it before they hook up. So good stuff. All things are right over there now in terms of their broadcasting. And it was funny, Wayne, I think it was you and I were texting or talking about right after, Zach left and said, if they don't do the right thing this time. And they did. So congratulations to EH. But yeah, we're talking about the NFL. I think back to those days quite often growing up, and that's what we love about sports. It was such a part of your childhood, and just the honesty of just sitting down and it's mad enjoyment. And I liked life a lot better then, when you didn't have these different sources of constant information coming at you, most of it incorrect, but still there's a lot to be said before the age of social media technology where you just come home and watch a game. I didn't care about what was going on politically. I didn't care what was going on around the league. All I knew was I saw two teams out there wearing uniforms that I knew playing football. And I couldn't wait to get in the backyard after the game and go out and try to emulate those guys. And you'd have your boxes of football cards opened up, and you'd sit there and look at the card when you'd see the guy on the screen. And, back then Topps didn't have the rights to show the logos on the helmet. It was some kind of weird licensing deal. If you have those old Topps football cards, you're going to see that they airbrushed out the logo. And I don't think they got them until like 1981 or 82. But if you see any kind of Topps football card and you see the helmet being worn by the player, they won't have the logo of the team on them. It was just a weird deal. I'm going to look that up. Why do they not have the rights to show NFL logo? From 70 to 81, Topps did not have an NFL properties license agreement, which means they lacked the rights to use logos. To work around this, Topps secured a license with the NFL Players Association to show player images, but they had to airbrush or digitally remove team logos from the players' helmets and jerseys. Yeah. So there you go. But in any event, you'd have your box of cards there, and it was exciting. So here's Joe Montana's rookie card. So in 1982, it changed. So look, Joe Montana's rookie card. If you have a PSA 10, it's going to be worth 4 figures. Look, no 49ers logo on the helmet. See right there? There's Joe. Yeah. Bizarre. Look how funny. Like, for instance, here's Bob Greasy's 1981 card. Look at his Dolphins helmet, just pure white. And almost just, you basically can't even see it. But that's what I'm talking about right there. Just plain, generic, bland helmets because they couldn't show the logo. Jim Marshall, the Vikings, with just a purple helmet on. But you see, at the time, that's all you knew. So it really became such a big deal when they finally got the helmets. Look how horrible the airbrushing job was on Jack Youngblood's 1975 card with the Rams. Yeah, no, exactly, Wayne. Had them all. And so you're like, it was just the way that it was, you know? It's cool seeing them again. Joe Klecko with his Jets helmet with no logo. It's tough to see the white helmets because they just wash out so well. But really cool stuff. Oh, here you go. Here's a good one. Look at Ron Jaworski for the Eagles in an airbrushed green helmet. It's a 78 card, I believe. Yep. Now I'm going down right now. This is hitting me in the feels right now, man. Hey, Prometheus is still here. There you go. Cliff Branch for the Raiders. 78. Look at that. But yeah, this is hitting me in the feels right now. The great Steve Largent. 1978 card. No Seahawk on that helmet. But this is cool. This is cool. But in any event, I've gone down a rabbit hole here on my show. Yeah, the NFL pencils are still the greatest writing implements in the history of mankind. And you won't convince me of anything any differently than that. Those packs are worth hundreds of dollars now. If you find an unopened original pack on eBay, you're gonna spend a lot of money. And I'm talking about the first release of those pencils, not the second. NFL pencil seal. All right, so okay, $77. $70 for the old AFC. That's just the AFC only. You're going to pay about $70. AFC, NFC. Oh, there's one for $55. I'm telling you, they were the best things ever. Everybody remembers those, right? One of these days, I'm just going to buy a pack from the old AFC. Oh, here you go. Now, here's a set for $209. Look at that. Oh, that may be the most beautiful thing. This will be the best thing I see all day. Look at that. There's your AFC, NFC set, sealed. How beautiful is that? Wow. Wow. I want that. So anyway. Yeah, at Hills in Christiansburg, you would go and I would get my Slurpee, my little thing of popcorn, and I'd go to the NFL helmet gum ball dispenser and just keep my fingers crossed that I'd get a Broncos helmet. You know what was so cool about those? You couldn't wait to put the stickers on yourself. I know. I see stuff like that, Wayne. That's the first thing I ask is how are they still sealed? I see old classic toys. And I think a lot of times I've been told that it's just lucky warehouse finds, things like that, or people just put them away in an attic. They tear down old houses. They go through boxes and they find this stuff. It's bizarre. It's bizarre, some of the stuff that's still factory sealed. I agree with you. Well, what the Browns had to have the stripe. You had to put the stripe on because the helmet would come with nothing on it. It looked like one of the Topps cards at the time. And they had, of course, the stickers to the side. But I think with the Browns, too, if I'm not mistaken, they had orange stickers to put on the orange helmet, which never made a lot of sense to me. But I guess that's what the production line called for, so they didn't want to change the formula. But I think for those old Browns helmets, you had the white and brown stripe, and then you had, I believe you had to put two brown stickers. Or maybe they had ones with the elf at the time. I think they did. Or the B, the old B cursive logo. Oh, really? You were a Dolphins fan before a Browns fan? I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that, Wayne. Oh, see, this is what I'm talking about. Oh, look at this, Wayne. You ready? 1965. Look at that. Cleveland Brown. There it is with the CB logo. That's what I was talking about. Look at that. That'll cost you $20. $20. So cool. So cool. But yeah, everybody loved the gumball helmets. It was one of the most exciting things that you could get out of a vending machine at the time. It's one of the most, you just couldn't wait. Could not wait. Here's a good look at it. See how they did it? It's an old Broncos one. See the logo and the stripe there on the piece of paper? You peeled that off and just stuck that right on the helmets. That's cool. That's really, really cool. Living in the fields right now. Telling you. That's good. Moved to Cleveland in 85. Oh, I got you. I mean, you just turned on your Dolphins because you moved towns? Come on, man. I guess that means, Wayne, I guess I'm to assume that if you move to Charlottesville, all of a sudden you become a UVA fan. The heck with the Hokies. Broncos football tonight. We got a football game tonight. Any chance I get to watch it? Probably not. It's going to be one of those regional games. Yep. I may get to see some highlights. Now let's talk NFL sheets and curtains. Oh, let's, because I updated them whenever I needed to. I had them for so many years. Man, they were the greatest thing in the world. And that's how you memorize the logo. And you started to identify players with the NFL sheets and curtains. And we had Jen, and then we lost Jen. Jen. Those were the greatest things ever, man. You just slept better on the NFL sheets and pillowcases. You just slept a whole lot better. Yeah, couldn't wait for the Sears catalog. It was the biggest deal in the world. You got it in like September, and you just couldn't wait to go through it. It wasn't necessarily always the toy section because you did spend enough time there, but it was going to the NFL clothes, the kids' clothes. Oh my. Great memories. Great memories. Anyway, all right, join us now on the program. Shit, the Gamecock girl. What's up? How are you?
Good morning. I'm sorry. I don't know what you just saw. I tried to get in the chat and there was a problem. I couldn't hear you. I had to leave. I was in and out there a few times. So apologies.
No, you don't have to apologize. No, it happens. Connectivity, it just changes. I get like a little, if something like that happens, it shows me do not put this person on yet. They're not connected with your, and then when you pop on, I see you, so you're good to go.
Okay, good. Panic averted.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. Hey, you got that shoulder off thing going again.
Yeah, I've got to get it in before football commences, and then I can't do it anymore.
Is that a non-football season look? Is that you don't want to do that?
I'm going to be all Gamecocked out when that happens. So
that's
cocked out, as I would say.
That's fair. That's fair. All right, take us through the weekend. If I'm not mistaken, from following you on social media, you guys had a pretty good result, did you not?
We did. It was so much fun to be part of it. We ended up third in the World Championships, Carolina Crown.
Wow! Congratulations!
And thank you. It was really exciting, and we won Best Brass, which I think we've won 9 times now since our beginnings in 1990, that's a huge deal.
That is a huge deal. Did you have a run? How far? Like, how do they do? Is it a point system? How do they rate that? How close were you from like winning the whole thing?
It's a point system, and it's very, very meticulous. It's out of 100 points, and the difference between places can be 1/10 of a point. It gets really crazy. I can't remember the difference between us and number one. Number one was a clear number one, but we were pretty close to number 2, which is the Blue Devils. I always loved Blue Devils growing up. They're from California. They bring West Coast finesse to the whole thing. They have a different swagger about them. I always enjoy them. They're great. That number 1 core was Blue Coats. They're out of Ohio, and they use a lot of sound design and a lot of cutting edge technology. It was probably the best finals that I've been to in many, many, many. Well, actually, maybe the best one ever. I'm going to say it. The best one ever for me.
Wow.
Personally. Yeah. It was just really fun to watch.
So this could be a stupid question, but I don't know. So is it like when somebody's up there and they're playing, is it like judges, like a figure skating? Do they judge them like and hold up and show you what the grade is, or they just do you not? How do they know how they grade it? I guess is what I'm asking.
There are some judges that are on the field, the ones that work with percussion in particular. You can see them following the percussion section around the battery, and it'll be little penalties for various things. And then at the end, you see all the scores for all the different categories. They judge general effect. They judge music execution, the guard, the difficulty of everything, and how well you performed considering the difficulty, because that way you don't want to get pegged for not being difficult enough and playing it really well, but not enough content. So they will assess the content, how challenging the content is. It's very emotional. It's a really special thing. If you've never seen it before, it's worth spending some time with to check it out.
Did you cry, Jen?
I did cry. I did. I mean, it's
that's cool.
You know, it's people from we have students who are from Japan who have translators who come in, and there are all these people that will probably never be together in the same way ever again. And yeah, it is an emotional thing.
No, that's cool. Congratulations. That's awesome. That's all. And you were there. You were there. How many days were you there? You were there quite a few times, quite a few days.
Oh, I came very early Thursday night and left very late Sunday, but it was totally worth it. I felt like when you leave exhausted and happy. And wait, what are you snickering at? What's happening?
A couple text messages that are funny. I'll share them with you.
Okay. About me band geeking out, probably.
No. They appreciate you being a band geek. One I got was, did Shane volunteer to be part of one of the percussion instruments with his bald spot? I got that. That wasn't me. That was one of the one of our viewers. Well, now that he's asked the question, was he there? Did he participate?
I think Coach Beamer is quite busy right now.
Oh, okay.
So he's not available to go watch drum corps in Indianapolis at this time.
And the other was, does this mean now with the success of the band members, does that mean now that there's even more of a hot seat for Shane on the sideline this year?
It's not, the drum corps is not University of South Carolina. It's Carolina Crown.
I know, but still.
There's some Gamecocks in it. Sorry if that's making, is that making right?
Goodness gracious, what is she doing? She's getting by. See, you should have made the comment about the bald spot texture.
I do think he should shave his head, but he's not asking me about that. We should let him be, because it's a source of sensitivity for men.
Is it? Is that what it is? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's a personal issue.
Well, congratulations. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
But a lot of them are how many are there South Carolina students involved? There are, aren't there? Or else
There are
would
a
you
few, but these are people from all over the world. It's not affiliated officially with the university or anything.
They just put a group together from the same region or and that's what you do. They
It's
travel.
not even region. Like people will audition from all over the nation, and then they fly in for the rehearsals and camps. You don't have to live in the Carolinas to be in this group. And like I said, there are people from Japan who are flying in from Japan to be in the group. So usually about 600 or 700 audition for about 160 spots. And Steve's asking on the professional door text line, did Jen get to play any football inside of Lucas Oil? No.
No, you didn't toss the ball around or anything?
The field, it's very serious and very professionally run and managed. There's not people going down on the field and throwing ball in between.
I mean, I would have snuck. Mike had that $5 football he found. I would just sneak a ball in there. Hey, Jen, go deep here. Let's go.
You would be asked to leave, and you would never get to return ever.
Right over that percussionist from New Jersey. Let's see if we can get a corner out. Let's go.
It is very, very serious. So, and the people who are not accustomed to it, number one, they think it's marching band, and it's different from marching band. It's drum and bugle corps, so it's just brass and percussion, and it's very intense. Like we travel with trainers and dietitian type people who are monitoring all the food intake. People are getting seriously injured during it and having to be treated, because it's such an aggressive physical activity. They have to do a physical audition in addition to a musical audition. So you don't see people who are out of shape doing this. It's not like, it's very different from college marching band, where you have more diversity of body types and physical level. It's not like that. Like, if you saw it, you'd be just totally shocked. Like, we have to make sure they have 6,000 or 7,000 calories a day.
Yeah, you were talking about that. Yeah.
So constant fuel and food, hydration.
I don't think about it that way, because but that makes sense, I guess, because you're out there for several hours, and it's just like performing in any type of practice, anything like that. You've got to keep the athletes at a certain energy level or calorie level. So it's the same thing in this regard, I'm sure. So I get that. That makes sense.
It is. Yes. Yeah. It's very intense. It's not like anything you've ever seen before. And to compare it to the marching bands we all know and love, which, that's close to my heart too. It's not the same at all. It's like a whole different level. They refer to it as marching band's major league. And then when you turn 21, you're not eligible to do the world class level anymore. You can do all age drum corps, things like that, alumni, but you can't do this competitive level, which is probably good because people would get injured much worse if they were older.
Did you eat well out there? Did you at least, have a couple nights of debauchery while you were out there? Or are you just being about, Mrs., buttoned up and boring?
No, it's fun. It's like a big fraternity of all of us who are music people who are really into this kind of thing. So yes, there's some late nights. I think one night I got back at 3:30.
Whoa, hello.
There's some shenanigans with it and people reminiscing about their glory days in music.
Blatant debauchery.
It's pretty fun. I did have, you probably heard the St. Elmo's Steakhouse. That's really well known. And they have the spicy shrimp cocktail everybody loves. But they have a sister restaurant next door. It's called Harry and Izzy's. And it's kind of a hangout bar scene. But they serve the shrimp cocktails. We went there. You have to do that when you're in Indianapolis. And some kind of, late night bar eating that happens if you've been partying for a few hours and then need to get some intake going before you got to wake up and do it all again.
You should take Coach Elmo to St. Elmo's Steakhouse.
I would if he's available. Again, I don't think a lot of people are making time to go to Indianapolis to watch drum corps unless you're hardcore into it.
Did you, at least for the love of everything that's holy, did you at least get a steak at the steakhouse, or did you get something healthy?
I didn't get a steak, but that's not because of the healthy concern. I'm trying to remember what I got. It was a speed issue, I think. We were trying to get moving. I'm trying to remember what I had. I had the shrimp cocktail. Oh, I had a salad. But no,
salad.
But no, listen to me. It was because I'd had something meat oriented earlier in the day. I split a burger maybe with somebody or something?
But it's steak. It doesn't matter.
I try not to beef on beef in one day. It was something like that.
There's a statement that I will never make in my life. Wait a minute. I had a burger for lunch. You want to go to the steakhouse? Yeah, let's go.
Well, I have a different metabolism than you do.
It's all protein, baby. It's all protein.
I can't do all that.
No, I understand. You are 36.5-point favorites over Kent State. I just saw the line yesterday.
Oh, I did not know that. You knew something I did not know. I haven't seen it yet, obviously.
36.5-point favorites. So, and then the next week it'll probably be bigger because,
Okay.
Do you like that? Do you like that as a fan? Do you like playing what he's done with the schedule here in the first two games because it's not going to help you any? Is it going to lull you into a false sense of, hey, we're going to be pretty good, and then the reality strikes? Or would you rather play like, last year Tech turned out not to be good, but it was a marquee game. Would you rather be in games like that as a Carolina fan, or do you just, oh boy, the Golden Flashes, we're killing them. Yay.
Well,
actual footage from Jen
as
and her.
You can probably remember, we haven't been, quote unquote, lulled into a sense of happy in an opening game yet under Shane Beamer. So that would be a nice change. I would be pretty happy to be like, oh, look how great we're playing, because this is his 6th year, right? Yes. The last 5 years, every time I've been like, oh my gosh, are they ready? Because this doesn't look good. And I've left the game depressed. So I'd prefer the lulling. I'm going to be honest. I'd like to have that. And I'd also like to not have a bunch of bad injuries. So if it's this or play Georgia in the opening game, I'm probably going to pick this right now.
I got to talk to you about your NFL quarterback. He's making news for all the wrong reasons. Jaden Daniels, this whole spat with LSU came out. It's hit full throttle. Your thoughts? And how does this affect you as a guy that, we were all hoping was going to be the guy? It looked like he was going to be the guy. And now I have to question a lot of things surrounding his leadership ability. What do you think?
I'm disappointed. I think that maybe people around him, money people or consultant kind of people, are leading him a little astray because if he had that thought, seemed like one of his people should have been like, hey, no, let's not.
No. You're going to hurt yourself. Yeah.
Don't do that. And I mean, that's kind of what some of my complaint is, if I have any, about Coach Beamer, is I think sometimes he needs people to handle some of his comments a little differently. And some of his reactions. That's why you have a team of people to work with you. And I think I put some of the blame on them too, because they should have just not allowed that to happen, in my opinion.
Agreed. 100%. And now, he's got to try to push this aside. Then people are trying to say that he didn't. Now they're asking about the Heisman, and he sent lawyers there. That's the thing that gets me. He didn't just.
What's going on? Like, is there some deeper beef going on that we don't know about? It seems irrational to me. Disappointing.
It's irrational. Yeah.
And a distraction before football starts. I don't want all the drama distraction. I only want good stuff.
Right. Yeah. Good morning, Chris Lester. Hope you have a great weekend as well. Yeah. Hey, Jen, he asked, what whiskey are we sipping this weekend? You're going to have some. You're back home. You're chill. What are you going to be?
Probably a little Peerless. That's
little Peerless there, Chris Lester.
Yeah, that's my kind of go-to when I want something. And I'll probably make a Manhattan this weekend while I'm at home. I had some in Indianapolis, and I can't say I had any that were as good as what I make. So it's time.
It's the way I am about steak. I don't like to eat it out because I don't feel like it's nearly as good as what I like.
No, I
spend a lot of money
that.
here.
Yeah. And anymore, Manhattan with a decent rye in it is going to be, I don't know, $22, $25, depending where you go.
Wow.
Just making it at home.
You don't need that. You've already spent your money on the stuff at home. Just fix it there. Use that.
Right. And I'm really good at that.
And you can make it as big as you want.
Or as many.
Yeah, or as many.
Although two of those and you're good for a while.
Chris is asking for your top 5 whiskeys. He said next week. Heck, you could probably do it right now, couldn't you?
Let me think about that, but yeah, I can do that next week.
All right.
And then the week after that is the date thing.
Yeah, you're starting to get full up here. We still got to do the schedule. We got to do your least dateable to most dateable SEC coaches.
Mm-hmm. By the way, I saw Sark being interviewed recently. He's got real crazy eyes these days. What's going on with him?
Yeah, he's nuts. But I'm going to make a prediction right now. And I don't know. I haven't talked to Jen about this, but I saw Lane Kiffin yesterday, his response to the whole Jaden Daniels thing. The dude's looking sharp. And like he's gotten a little, you can see that he's taken all this heat in the media and all that from leaving the way he left Ole Miss. And I sit there and I actually said, all right, if Jen sees this guy's making the top 3. This version of Lane's making the top 3. You should check it out. Just saying.
I mean, he's got something about him. We all know that. Little something special, little charisma.
Yeah, charisma is a good word.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to do your whiskeys. We got to get your least dateable to most dateable, and then we've got to get your prediction on the schedule, which is always fun because you open up on the 5th of September against the Golden Flash.
I told you don't roll your eyes at it because we've had enough tension on the opening day for the rest of my life under Beamer. Really, seriously, it's been so bad. When we played ODU, it was a miracle we didn't lose to them. Yeah. We were so bad. And the O-line last year, were we the lowest ranked O-line in the SEC? I think yes.
I believe that's correct. Yeah.
And in the whole everything, I think we were like in the 10%.
I think you're pretty good.
So, I'd love to have a game where I'm just giggling and laughing and not totally feeling like I have to pay attention to the last second. That'd be great.
Yeah, as bad as Tech was last year, they kind of exposed your offensive line first game. Remember, we talked about it. Yeah.
I mean, it was weird to me because I talked to other Gamecock people who were like, yeah, we're going to be great this year. And I was like, were you watching the same game? Because I feel totally depressed. Like that was a hot mess for both teams.
Without the special teams play, Tech may win that football game in the fourth quarter. That changed the whole game around. I mean,
yeah, I totally agree.
Just saying.
We just looked completely not prepared. Also, like that to me was the most distressing part of all those opening games is the lack of preparation happening and the stupid penalties and dumb things. And so let's not do that this year.
I think
maybe
he had a hard time.
Will be good for that.
You had so much preseason praise. You're in the top 15. I think maybe it was a hard time getting those guys not to read their own press releases and say, oh, well, we're going to be pretty good. Let's just go ahead and lie. We'll be fine. We're going to beat Tech.
Yeah.
Oops. We're in a dogfight here. You know?
Well, and I feel like, and that is another gripe about Coach Beamer. You know, I feel like sometimes he buys into that too and feels like he can coast a little. And we were not coastable.
You're not a coastable program. Correct.
No, we can't do that.
One thing about Jen Peeps, when she goes through the schedule now, she does have her bias, but she will not pick a game she does not feel honestly about, regardless of your fanship. So that is true about you.
Thank you for letting me just opt out so I don't have to.
I know.
Things I don't want to say.
I will never make her say it out loud if she doesn't want to. But there's some games in there, especially the middle part of the schedule, where she's going to be pretty silent. I have a feeling.
It's better just not to say anything. Just we all know what that means.
Mitch says, "I wonder where John Sumrall is going to fall on Jen's list on the professional door text line." The new Florida head coach who's made some
spoiler alert. I'm not a big fan.
He hasn't. Yeah, he's kind of been a complete ass, hasn't he, since he got down there? Some weird things coming up from down there with him. It's going to be fun.
Boring than his predecessor. Why can't I remember predecessor's name? Help me. At Florida.
Billy Napier, who's now the
I blocked him out in my brain because he's so boring.
Where did Napier show up last year?
He's low because he's so boring. I can't. I don't know how he would rev up well, obviously he had problems. He's left. He's gone. I don't know how anybody would find him inspiring because, oh gosh, if I were the reporter on that beat and I was assigned to him, I'd just be like, y'all, I can't. I gotta move or something. This is terrible.
So I'm saying, and Lane, he's got it all. He's got that. He's not going to be boy. I'm telling you, Lane is going to be my dark horse pick for Jen's top dateable. He looks different. I just got a feeling. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. It won't be Ryan Silverfield. We knew that.
One thing about Lane is he does have a lot of drama about him and like a certain kind of BS, but he's like that kind of guy, like when you're younger and more optimistic in dating in life that you continue to go for because you just can't stop for yourself. I mean, thankfully now I'm a little bit smarter, not a lot, a little bit, and I know better than to go for
that's a good description.
Well, I
think he can change. He can change, right?
Right. Yeah. And then you have a really good date, and then he's a jerk bag for like a month of just terrible behavior. Like he knows to throw out a few little breadcrumbs to keep you wrapped in, but
you had a great date, great dinner, great vibes, very passionate, but not over the top goodnight kiss. And then you don't hear from him over the weekend. He just disappears for 2 days.
With his other girlfriends and stuff. And then, there's pictures on social media and he's like, no, that's my best friend's sister who was with us. And it wasn't anything. And
yeah, that's true. Yeah. No, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Yeah. Okay. That's explainable. So
I grew up with her. She was my neighbor.
Right. And then it happens over and over and over again. And then
That's Lane Kiffin.
I had to go to that sorority function because she didn't have a date. And, I mean, we've been friends a long time. I just helped her out with that. That's it.
That's good stuff. Yeah, you're exactly right. That describes him perfectly. He's that guy on the dating app. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I went out with him. I'm not too sure, but he wants to go out again. Should I? Yeah, I guess I will. What a jerk. Well, it's been a month and he was really kind of funny. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
And then all the girlfriends are like, really, don't go out with him anymore. We don't want to hear about it anymore. Like, please
stay away from him. Don't go. No, why are you wasting your time? You just don't understand. Yeah.
He's different with me, everybody. Yeah. He really cares about me, and we're going to end up together. He's just going through a little phase. That's it.
That's exactly it. Well, now he's going through the phase he's got his own Bill Belichick thing going down there, doesn't he? If I'm not mistaken. Or he did, or is he back with his wife now?
He's back and forth with reuniting with his wife. And they say they're good co-parents, and then it goes back to more, and they revert to the days of old, and then not. And I don't know.
Will that factor into your decision, or is this just solely?
That's a good question. I've got to come up with criteria. It's just got to be first date, I think.
Yeah. That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Were you that guy who was kind of a jerk like that with women?
I don't like to think I was. I may have been post divorce when I was back on the market.
Yes, I remember a little phase you went through where I suspected you were doing that. I won't say more at this time, but there were some things that led to that conclusion. Not with me. Not with me.
No. But you did call me out on it several times. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
I mean, I probably have been guilty of being kind of aloof, we'll say, with some of my handlings of men in the past. But, hopefully I'm a little more direct now.
By the way, I'm getting your green circled IGs again.
Oh.
And the one you had before you went out on the town, I don't know, was it last Friday?
Mm-hmm. In my crown outfit. You like that little outfit. Okay.
I did. Yeah. So that's a big fan.
Maybe you like the drum corps clothes. Maybe you're down with that.
No. I think it's the embodiment of the clothes. It was under the clothes.
Thank you.
This is a big dog pop. This is a big dog pop conversation. Yeah, we didn't have pop last night because I had soccer, and we had a new player. She came in. What did she do? She registered a hat trick. She had all 3 goals. How about that? Brooke Pearson. Yeah, in her Radford debut, 3 goals. So anyway,
congrats.
All right,
did you win the game?
Yeah, 3-0.
Okay.
Yeah,
I assumed so, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, but that was expected against who we played. But we have Charlotte on Sunday, so that'll be better competitively. They're good. Charlotte's good.
Okay. Well, I wanted to congratulate you too on your 1-year anniversary of this format.
Thank you.
And thank you for including me.
It's hard to believe. Well, it wouldn't be a show without you. Come on.
Yeah, that's sweet of you to say.
That's true. No, it's hard to believe. It's hard to believe.
Actually you. It's really you, and we all know it. So, cool that you had the ambition to create the studio in your house and figure all this out and make it work. And it's still rolling. And now you have the Thursday night show when you're not doing soccer.
Yeah.
So
it made me feel good that so many people were reaching out. Why aren't you doing pop tonight?
It is really fun. I have to say, it was great for me the time I joined while I was making dinner. it's like hanging out with friends, you know. It felt kind of dorm like my dorm friends came over and I was making something and, you know, very chit chatty. And
I missed it last night. I missed hanging out with everybody last night, to be honest with you. Yeah, it was kind of gotten used to it over the last month and a half. So yeah. It'll be back.
I'll come back. Usually Thursday.
Yeah, you need to be in there. Yeah, you need to be in there. I think a lot more people are going to try to start popping on, if you will. See what I did there? How clever I am.
When I went in there, I thought it was going to be like pop culture chat, like TV and music and stuff. I wasn't really sure what to expect.
It will be. It can be.
Okay.
We just, but yeah.
I like that it's everything. I think it's just fun and laid back.
Absolutely. Just friends hanging out and just talking like we would be if we were together in a room, watching football, eating beverages or drinking beverages and eating good food. So.
Yeah.
So. All right. Any plans this weekend? What are you getting into?
We have move-in at USC this weekend.
Oh, is that this weekend? Okay.
It is. And we've had band camp stuff going on all week. And it's very hot here. Very hot, like high 90s with 100+ heat index. So I'm kind of worried for all our marching band kids. It's tough in South Carolina, like high school too. They're in camp and everyone's just roasting like little fried eggs on the field. Terrible.
Sticky time.
Really bad. Yeah. So, and moving will be equally sweaty. All those northern people will be dying when they come down here. Like they always get, you know, enchanted by the beautiful South during the fall and winter, and then they come from moving, and it's going to be a lot for them.
All those morning people. That was funny. All right. Well, have a great time with that, and next week. So, what are we doing next week? Are we getting what are we getting next week besides the whiskey thing?
There was something else. Do you want to do the record? Potential Gamecock record with each game. Do you want to do that next week?
You want to do the schedule next week? Yeah, why don't we do that next week?
It seems like a good pairing with the top 5 alcohol.
Okay. Sure. Top 5 whiskeys she may need after this result. Yes.
If that opening game is as bad as the past 5 have been with Coach Beamer, yes, I'm going to need a whole additional supply to get through it.
I understand. All right, dear. Have a good weekend. Stay safe. Glad you're back home safely. And we'll get into your schedule prediction next week.
Okay. And no comments from you about the bald spot during it. Please.
Okay. Boy, you never let me have any fun.
Talk about something else.
Boy. All right. I will do that for you. All
right.
Bye. You have a great weekend.
Thank you.
All right. Stay safe. Take care. In the Gamecock girl here on the program. All right, everybody. Great week. Appreciate everything. Thanks everybody who stopped by all week. You're wonderful. Thanks everybody for the first year. As I mentioned, couldn't do it without you. Our guests. Thanks to Coach Elmo. Thanks to Mike. Thanks to Jen today. Please always subscribe, like, and share the channel. We've gotten our 3-year permission slip from YouTube now because of the excess of watches and rewatches, and we owe it all to you. Have a good weekend. Enjoy your preseason football. We'll see what comes out of Tech Camp, and we'll see you on Monday, everybody. Be good. Stay safe.